Hello, this is Sebastian from Social Anxiety Solutions. I am a social confidence coach and I'm answering questions of people that have social anxiety and stuff. So here's a question. Hi, I have a fear of having a panic attack. Like every time I have to talk in front of a group of people, I get so nervous, like my heart is beating so fast and I feel like I can't breathe and my whole body starts shaking, which is the worst thing. And everyone's like, what's wrong with you? Can you tell me what I should do? Because I just think I can't handle this anymore. Okay, so first of all, this is a problem that you're having that's very difficult, obviously, but it's not a problem that typically will go away just like that. But I have a couple of techniques that I'll share with you because you can make progress pretty much just like that. And then you will need to look at why the actual problem with panic attack is there in the first place. So, first of all, what makes your problem worse is because you're fighting, is the fact that you're fighting against it. Now, that makes total sense because it's so uncomfortable, it's so scary, it's so overwhelming. You're afraid of the feelings that you're having, and especially when they're happening in a moment like that, the last thing you want to do is, allow those feelings to be there and be okay with the feelings. You want to fight them, push them away, control them, pretend that they're not happening. But guess what? That's actually firing them up. That's letting them grow even stronger. So the advice, the initial first step advice, is to actually do something counterintuitive, and that is to say yes to those panic symptoms, to allow those symptoms to be there, to give them permission to be there, to welcome them. And in fact, it's a lot easier to do that when you're in the comfort of your own home. So when you're in the comfort of your own home, you can imagine doing a presentation, or you can recall the last time you did a presentation. You close your eyes and you see what you saw, you hear what you heard, you get all the details right. Where were the people? Where were you standing? What were the people around you? What were the sounds? And connect with that feeling, and instead of trying to push it away, allow them to be there, and in fact encourage them to be there. Let them go stronger, let them go as strong as they can. And as you're doing that, you want to be doing the tapping. If you're not familiar with that yet, look up some of my other videos. While you're doing that, while you're saying yes to the symptoms, you're doing the tapping. Now what that's going to do is going to interrupt the pattern. And that's going to be very helpful. I'll give you a good example of how this works. So 2014, I was doing a emotional relief mission in the Philippines because there was a super typhoon Haiyan, or Yolanda, had wrecked the Philippines. More than 2 million people lost their houses, 8,000 people died. And we went to the worst hit area to help the traumatized people overcome the trauma of the storm. Now that's seen horrible things, corpses all over the place. They were without food and drinks for 3 days. It was horrible. They lost family members. It was really, really bad. And while we were there with our team of therapists and EFT specialists, tapping specialists, I worked. Actually, I was observing that time. My colleague Steve Wells worked with a volunteer in front of a group of traumatized people. And that person had lost his mother in the storm. And he had seen his mom float by and, captured by the storm, because there was I think an 8-foot flood storm that washed through the village. And that's actually how most people died. Most people drowned. It wasn't because of flying things that caught them, some of them, but most of them actually drowned because they were hiding in their houses and go up to the floor. Anyway, this lady was caught by the flood, and so he saw his mom flush away, or like get taken by the storm. And so and his mom died. And he was so pissed off at the storm. He was pissed off at Yolanda. So while he was tapping and feeling that anger, what Steve Wells, psychologist, tapping expert, did is he said, get angry at the storm. It's normal that you're angry. Get into it. Make the anger go stronger. You know, encourage that anger to go even stronger. Get even more pissed off at Yolanda. How unfair it is. He took your mother. Get even more angry. And he encouraged the guy to get more and more and more angry. And as he did, after a couple of minutes, boom, he burst out into massive crying. Because anger is actually a secondary emotion. So he allowed that repressed anger to be there, and with the tapping it got processed, and now he could tune into the actual more deeper healing of the sadness of the loss of his mom. So that's an example of what happens when you, what can happen when you encourage and allow your emotions fully. Emotions fully felt are short-lived. So it's normal and common to try to repress it and to try not be anxious and to get that panic attack to go away, but that doesn't work. In fact, it's like adding fuel to the anxiety fire. It just makes it worse. And when you're allowing and you're accepting and you're saying yes to it, despite the discomfort, trusting that, hey, these are just uncomfortable sensations in my body. They're terrible, they're horrible, they make socializing very difficult, they're limiting my life, but I can actually handle them, and you tap while you allow them to be there. That's gonna change your reaction to that panic attack, okay? So that's your first aid solution. Then you need to actually look at why that panic is there in the first place. Well, you were not born having panic attacks, so that means that you've learned at some point to start having panic attacks. There was likely a first time where you had your first panic attack. That's a particular experience you want to do the tapping on. You want to neutralize that experience. Then there's a reason for why in the first place you had that panic attack. That's because of your belief system. I can't go into that. That's going to make this a very long video. So there's deeper inner work that needs to be done, because there was a reason for why you were having a panic attack, and someone else in that same situation would be totally fine. And you need to look at that. But I'm just giving you these two quick tips, just addressing that. So the first time you had a panic attack, the worst time you had a panic attack, and using this particular strategy that I just gave you, that's going to significantly reduce the problem. It's likely not going to make it go away already completely, but it's going to reduce the problem. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, post them below this video or send them to me via my website, socialanxietysolutions.com. There's a contact form. I think it's socialanxietysolutions.com/contact, and I'll answer them on this video. So that's it for me. I hope this was helpful for you, and I'll connect with you soon. Bye for now.